Benvenuto! Welcome to Cherry Hill Home Cooking. My name is Mark. Today we're going to make ravioli lasagna, ravioli casserole. It goes by a lot of different names. I saw a short on YouTube of this a couple of weeks ago, and I thought, why didn't I think of that? So I've been dying to try it. So we're going to call it ravioli lasagna because it just sounds even better that way. All right? So let's go over our ingredients and then we'll get cooking. Now, there's so many different variations. I've put my own spin on it in terms of what I'm going to do. But in looking at recipes there was, I don't know, 30, 40, 50, if not more, variations of how people made this. One of those variations was ground beef. Some people used ground sausage. I'm going to use ground beef today. Now, not that you're going to be able to tell, but my proportions might look a little off because I'm going to make 1.5. I'm going to freeze one for next week. But anyway, so just in case it looks a little, but all the precise measurements that I use will be in the recipe, of course. Okay, so we've got a pound. I've got here 1.5 pounds, but for the recipe, it's going to be 1 pound of really lean ground beef. Like I said, you could use chicken, you could use turkey, you could use pork if you want. It calls for frozen raviolis, okay? So whatever your favorite brand of frozen ravioli is, I'm using the cheese one because I'm using beef. I've seen other people use meat ones and not put any beef in it. We need some tomato sauce or gravy. This is my own vegetarian recipe of red sauce. It's on the website if you want to give it a try. Again, I'm going to give you the exact proportions because I'm doing this recipe as we speak. We need some Italian seasoning, and we're going to put some granulated garlic in there. We're going to actually put that in our one of our ingredients. We need some mozzarella, all right? I don't really endorse a lot of products, but this creamy melt mozzarella from Kraft is the creamiest, meltiest I've ever found in a pre-shredded one, all right? And then we need some good Parmesan cheese. We need some ricotta, whole milk ricotta cheese, okay? Of course, we're gonna need a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm gonna put 1 egg in our ricotta cheese to make it a little bit creamier. And that's really all it is, that's involved in it. I'm gonna do this recipe in a 9x12 pan. So before we cut and go on to the next step, I'm gonna get our ground beef in there. I've got my pan heating up a bit. I'm gonna put that up to medium. And we want to get this nice and browned. I meant to put a little dollop of olive oil in there because this meat is really lean. All right, and we need a little bit of salt and pepper because the beef does not come pre-flavored. We did some shrimp cocktail on Ina Garten recipe, so I'm talking about her again today. I believe she says that when you're salting beef, it's, I want to say 2 teaspoons per pound. Check that just to make sure. Not that I ever really, I do, although if I make meatballs or meatloaf or something like that, I do always go by that rule. But I'm just going to give this a pinch of salt and pepper to get that seasoned. Get a little flavor in there. And we want to brown that nicely. So again, guys, remember brown means brown, not gray. And that's probably going to take a good 10 minutes. Break it up as you go along. All right, so we've got our, so it's a 15 ounce of ricotta. You could use, of course, more. It depends upon how much you like ricotta. Some recipes I saw, it didn't call for the ricotta cheese. And I just thought to myself, well, how could it be lasagna without ricotta? So we're going to use it. You could omit it. All right, I got my garlic, granulated garlic, and my Italian season. I'm going to put it in there. And give that a mix together. And then, like I said, I like to put 1 egg in. It will help bind it. I hate to crack an egg over something just in case I gotta shell in there, which I didn't, but it came out here. And again, it's not 100% necessary, but it will make it a little creamier. So when you spread it, and it will also, you know, it'll add a binder to it. So your ricotta cheese will have some texture to it. You know, it won't just all melt. All right, now, of course, whatever your favorite red sauce is, jarred, whatever, you're probably going to need about, I'm going to say between 28 and 32 ounces will be what we use. But all right, believe it or not, guys, other than cooking the meat up, and I am going to put my sauce in here once my meat is brown and just let it get a little bit warm. It'll help the cooking process. That's all that we really have to do now other than assembling it. All right, I'll be back when our meat is browned. We'll get our sauce in there and then we'll get on to assembly. All right, guys, our meat is nicely browned. I'm trying to pick some up. See, that's brown. It's all one nice, pretty color, not gray. All right, now, get in there, just show the bottom of the pot. Now, like I said, this was really lean ground beef. It was 97% lean. All right. Yes, we got a little bit of oil in there, but most of that is the olive oil, which I think is going to be delicious. Now, if you really feel you must drain your ground beef, I never drain my ground beef. I cook it till, you know, all the water is absorbed. You certainly can drain it. My thought process on that is unless it's really, really fatty ground beef, if you're draining it, you're throwing all your flavor from your spices and stuff down the sink. But anyway, that's my thought on it. All right, now also would be the time. Well, not actually right now. Let's go on to. So again, like I said, I'm using a little bit more than the recipe will call for because I'm doubling this, and I might even have some leftover sauce, but my sauce is delicious. It will get eaten. All right, so now would be the time if you want to add a little bit of heat, give a couple good shakes of crushed red pepper flakes. All right, now I just wanted to come back so that you guys could see the ground beef. I'm gonna let this heat through, all right? So, of course, if you're using a jar sauce, that's gonna come from room temperature. My sauce was at room temperature, so it shouldn't take that long, but I wanted to just come up to just a really soft boil, simmer. So it's hot when we put everything together. So when that's warm, we'll be back and we'll finish up, or at least we'll put everything together. All right, my sauce is all nicely heated through. So now the only thing left is to put this together. I've got my oven preheating to 350 degrees. I'm gonna start by taking a ladle and just kind of cover the bottom with our sauce. So this is a 9 by 13 or 9 by 12. I think it's a 9 by 13. Kind of standard Pyrex size big pan like this. All right, so that, according to what I've seen, the next step is to put out your frozen ravioli. Now, I wanted to get square because it's square pan, but I couldn't find square ravioli anywhere. So we got round. And again, this is the cheese ravioli. The nice thing about this dish, of course, is you could make this really vegetarian, as long as you're vegetarian that eats dairy products. We use spinach ravioli or some type of non-meat ravioli. Or of course, eliminate the meat from the sauce and then use the cheese ravioli. All right, so let's see how many this is going to take. And it says it's just one layer, or put them in frozen. Our oven's done. So I'm going to say this is probably going to take, that might take, let's see, because I'm going to try to get 2 nice layers in there. right. Now we're going to take our ricotta cheese and dabble a little bit on each one. A good heaping tablespoon. When we came back, we had looked at this. Oh, it's going to be really cheesy. Yep. Lots of cheese. All right, we'll just spread it around a little bit. All right, and we'll go on to our mozzarella. Give it a nice little coating. And then to our Parmesan. We'll give it a nice layer of sauce. So of course, it's a little less time consuming of doing the, having to cook your lasagna and everything. Like I said, we got our oven at 350. That looks good to me. Let's give it another layer. I was going to have Wade cut, but we only got a couple more to go. A few more minutes. And I would say that this has used one bag, so a 24-ounce bag, because this one is frozen, of raviolis. All right, we'll give our another topping here. Of course, you can layer this any way you choose. If you want to do, you know, the cheese and then your sauce or whatever. It doesn't really matter, right? It's going to all melt together. And I'm going to do some more sauce. Actually, oh no, I'm going to do a little bit more cheese. This is the mozzarella. And some more Parmesan. And I'm going to end with some sauce. Spread it all around. And then I'm going to do a nice sprinkling of our Parmigiano. Now, I don't know where I heard it, but I think it was yesterday on one of the videos I was watching. Be right back. We're going to cover this with tinfoil. And one of the videos I was watching said just spray the bottom of the tinfoil. That's going to go on top. Although I could have done another layer, but again, I'm gonna, since it's my first time doing this, I'm gonna go with 2. And then they said 2. So that way, your cheese won't stick to your the top of your tinfoil. All right, now I'm gonna put this on a baking sheet just in case it overflows, and then we're gonna put this in our oven. Our 350 degree oven. All right, so we have got frozen ravioli in there, right? So I'm gonna say 350 for, I'm gonna say 50 minutes. Then we're gonna go back, I'm gonna take the tinfoil off and we're gonna put it back in the oven for another 10 to 15 minutes till the cheese gets nice and golden brown and delicious. So we'll see you in 50 minutes. Okay, set a timer for 50 minutes.
Sure, 50 minutes, starting now.
Okay, it's been 50 minutes. Let's take it out, give it a look. My back is a bit stiff, guys, so I'm moving a little slowly. All right, so that looks good. All right, so now we're gonna put it back in the oven for 10 minutes and let it get nice and brown. Oh, no, I can put it right in that. Okay, set a second timer for 10 minutes.
Second timer for 10 minutes.
See you in 10 minutes.
We're starting now.
All right, I checked my ravioli lasagna at 10 minutes to see how brown it was. It wasn't quite brown enough, so I left it in for another 5. So I'm going to say 10 to 15 minutes after you take off the tin foil. Yeah. Oh, it looks beautiful this time. All right, now the bad news. Well, the good news is you could certainly eat this. Hard to tell how brown it is, but believe me, that's nice and brown. You could serve this immediately. However, if you do that now, it is piping hot, boiling hot. You're not going to get any nice layers from your lasagna. So I recommend letting it cool down for a minimum of 10 minutes. 15 to 20 is even better. All right, we'll see you in 15 or 20 minutes so we can have dinner. Okay, the best part of cooking. It's time to eat. Like I said, I've never made this before. I don't think we've ever had anything quite
good.
like this. But it looks good.
It's been smelling good.
Delicious.
In the kitchen's been smelling like good like crazy. Well, why wouldn't be good? Wow.
Delicious.
Yeah, delicious.
Like I said, I'm going to take the 9x13. I'm going to let that cool totally. Then I'm going to wrap it in some plastic wrap really well. Stick it in the freezer, and that should hold for a good 2 or 3 months. But we're probably going to end up eating it next weekend. But
That's delicious.
Delicious. Plus, also I'm thinking this would be great for the holidays because you could make this, in advance, freeze it, or make it, put it all together, throw it in the refrigerator, and then throw it in the oven. But this would be great for a buffet table during the holidays on Thanksgiving or Christmas or New Year's. Okay.
Excellent.
That's it.
Yep. Please like and subscribe. And check out cherryhillhomecooking.com. See you in the next video.
Thank you. Ciao.
Bye.